Hello, WordNerds! Happy Sunday and welcome to our live chat. This is the time of the month where we just all talk about our writing situation, what's going on, what we're working on, and we run some word sprints tonight. So if you have any of your own work to do, come and join us, and we will all be sharing stuff in the comments about our word counts and what we're working on, and ask us questions in between. If we, we'll keep scrolling until we get to them, and we'll try and answer everybody's on there. So why don't we just start off with talking about what we're working on today. My first person on my list is Erin.
I am currently in the middle of revisions on Witches of Action Ruin, so I'm still working on that.
All right, how about you, Emma?
Yeah. Yesterday I wrote like 200 words, and it was like the first words I've written in like 6 or 7 weeks. I think like 7 weeks. So, and that was like in like an earlier scene that I was like changing some stuff. So today I'm going to try and add some stuff to like where I last left off, and I don't really remember where I was going with it. So we'll see how much I actually get done once I figure out what I'm writing.
All right. How about you, Kelly?
I am writing a chapter for a project that's like super upcoming, just because I've got it stuck in my head and I just want to get it out so I can move on with my life.
Awesome. And Megan?
I am also working on revisions. They are like 2 months overdue. So I'm really, my plan is to send them off tonight or tomorrow morning if I absolutely can't finish them tonight, but I think I'll be able to. It's mostly line edits with like a few scenes I want to add, but I feel like I've been staring at it for so long that I could just be changing things for the sake of changing things at this point. So we'll see.
All right. I am working on homework because for people that don't know, I take online classes, and my textbooks, there's like an issue with them. So they ended up being shipped out super late, and I got them like 2 days ago. So I have a lot of stuff to catch up on. So I'm going to be writing some like discussion posts and notes, and then also doing stuff on the excellence of business communication, which is just the most exciting topic that I have had the pleasure of studying this year. So that's going to be my plan for the majority of this chat.
Nice. We've got people sharing in the discussion section what they're working on. Emma's working on second draft of their NaNoWriMo novel, and Griswold is working on character backstory and hoping to fall into any plot holes before starting to write. Lots of people editing. We had lots of people excited for sprints. Jennifer said, "Help me finish this chapter, WordNerds." So, welcome everyone.
You can do it.
Shall we start at the 45? It's a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
All right.
Great.
I bought my yerba mate specifically for this chat because it's the only thing that keeps me awake. So no coffee.
What is it?
It's
I don't know how
mate.
do I pronounce this? Mate.
Oh, is
Is
it mate
it?
tea?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does that not look like mate to you?
It does.
It does.
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, I'm probably saying this wrong. It looks super fancy.
Well, just for a second there, I thought it was kombucha, and I'm just like, I can't do kombucha. Everyone's like,
I know, I've tried.
great, amazing thing. It's so good for you. And I'm like, have you seen like the flat discs of stuff they make it from? That's nasty.
It's pretty
Maybe I'll
gross.
just die early.
It's just the vinegar taste. Like I can't get past the vinegar taste. Like
If you try the Rise ones, has anyone tried those? I like those. So,
Yeah.
but I only like those. Any other like brand of it, I don't like. Yeah. The blueberry one from Rise is really good, and that's the single only one I've ever found that actually doesn't taste like nastiness.
Okay. Take your word for it.
I got this new coffee.
This stuff's better though.
Yeah. I got this new coffee machine that actually, like, it tastes good just as black coffee, which I've never had happen before. So I'm trying that tonight and hoping that it'll just like, I'll suddenly have like a flat brimmed cap on and I'll turn into the guy in your MFA and I'll just feel like my work is the best ever and then I'll be able to finish it.
So that coffee machine is going to give you the confidence of a straight white man?
Yeah, that's all I want it to do is that
Sorry, a mediocre white man?
That's a good coffee.
That's all I want.
The confidence of a mediocre white man? You could do so much better, Megan.
Just for one evening so I can finish revisions.
All right, we have less than a minute left. Our first sprint will be 20 minutes long, so that will be until 05, past the hour. And I have a couple of prompts for you guys tonight. For some reason, I'm just in this like kind of like wintry fantasy mode, probably because I just finished a bunch of like wintry books. So your first prompt of the evening is Frozen Lake, where write a scenario where your character gets trapped.
Oh, that's so scary.
Oh, that's like
no.
Thank you. They're only going to get better.
No, thank you, please.
It doesn't have to be like under a frozen lake. I'm just saying.
Oh gosh. I don't know what movie that happened in as a child, but I saw it and I was scarred.
Like every movie.
You don't have to use the prompt. You can if you want to. All right. We will see you back here at 5 after the hour. Good luck, everybody. And time for everybody. So, how'd everybody do?
$5.99.
Woo!
Nice.
I'm like,
Go
ahead.
I got 133.
I'm about 2 minutes away from being done revising this chapter.
Excite. So actually, me too. That's weird. Right at the end when you called done.
Yeah, I was like, no, wait, I need a little more.
One more minute.
In the discussion section, we've got Mark got 414, Starlight Sapphire got 683, Lily got 414, Alexander 213, Alyssa 150, Jennifer got 200. Had some
You guys
people
are rocking it tonight.
up. Yeah.
Glad to hear that all of you are still doing good with your writing in the new year.
We had a question about how long these usually go. We usually do 3 20-minute sprints, so it ends up being a little over an hour.
And of course,
I'll just do that every
stuff.
Yeah.
Answer questions and all that.
Yeah. If you asked a question aside from that one and I did not see it, I apologize. Please feel free to ask it again. I just missed it.
Same.
Yeah.
You're the one with the super caffeinated beverage. Like,
it's not working. I'm already halfway through it. What's happening? If I interrupt anyone, I apologize. I'm not trying to do it deliberately, but I am lagging quite a bit, I think. So it's not just me being a jerk.
No, you seem okay.
Yeah, you seem okay to me this week.
Okay, good. Yeah. Early at the beginning of the chat, when you were like, okay, we're ready to go live, and then talking a bit, it like went super fast through everything you were saying, and then we were like, boom, live, and I was like, oh.
Oh,
okay.
dear.
Oh, we're doing this.
It's like I started composing a very important business email.
Oh, so fancy.
Yeah. Man.
So businessy.
It's such business. Agreed.
Much wow. Such
Very
business.
money.
Very professional, much business. It's so funny. This textbook, I don't even think this textbook's that old, but the way that it's written is just amazing because it's like, oh, the new thing now is I am, and like, don't underestimate the value of technology, and like, oh my God. Figure out the regular medium. Will it be on a letter or by office memo or LinkedIn? Like, it's just Facebook is being used as the new way of communication. And I'm like, oh my God. I just can't get over it's I am. This is in, let's see. So okay, now I can actually see it. They published it first in 2002, but they did a revamp, like they republished it in 2011. So like this should be up to date.
Yeah.
Well, lots happened.
A while ago.
Yeah, when I think about it.
2011 was a while ago.
I am by 2011.
8 years ago, my lord. It's so weird to think about time because I'm just like, oh, we did
Yeah, it really
8 years ago. Oh my God.
That's why it's good to not put specific things like that in your literature, like I am or Facebook, and then because you date yourself so obviously.
Yeah. Actually, I was watching a video of another YouTuber. Her name's Paperback Dreams. I like her a lot. She's great. Her name's Kat. But she did a whole thing on how she hates it when people put in pop culture references, and like I like that in a book. But then she was talking about how but she was talking about how like, oh no, like this book, and I won't mention which one it was, but like this book did it way too much. There was way too much of it. You know, it was like constant references to everything. And yeah, it's fun now, but you know, what about in 5 years when, you know, no one knows what that is, or what if people are like, oh, Snapchat, like that's so 2018.
I like it in contemporary books. Like I think it's
that's okay.
Books. Like
but like a little bit.
Yeah, you like walk the line.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, you can make a Harry Potter reference because we know Harry Potter is going to be immortal, but you can't make like a specific like Vine reference because everyone's going to be like, what? Even now, it's like, what?
I almost feel like it's a weird balance because it's going to date itself in 5 years, but then in 10 years, it's world building.
That's true.
Yeah, like you read like old books, and I don't know, I feel like I've never like read an old book and been like, wow, it's embarrassing that they like mentioned like MySpace. You know, like I wouldn't be like, oh, so dumb, so dated. Like I'd be like, okay, like this book came out in the 90s, so it mentions this thing from the 90s. Like I don't think it would really like bother me.
But see, I think it would have bothered me in like 2005. I would have been like, it's not MySpace anymore.
Yeah, it's not cool.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, like 5 years it's stupid, but 10 years it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, I remember in 2000 or whatever.
Remember when we had to rank our friends and everyone could see?
Because like I almost think it's worse. What bothers me is books that like make up things, like when they like do like made up social media sites and stuff. That like almost bothers me more. You know, like,
it does. They're so ridiculous.
Their own name for it. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of now of some of the replacement names I've heard for Facebook. Like it's obviously trying to reference Facebook, but it's not.
All I remember is that my best friend loves that, oh my gosh, what was it? From like YTV or Disney or something like that. There was a show Victorious, which was, that had like Victoria Justice in it. She loved that show, and so she made me watch it a whole bunch. And I remember they had like Apple products, but they were pears instead. So they had like a pear shape on the backs of their laptops, and they had like pear-shaped phones, and it was like this whole like meta joke about it. It was really good.
Yeah,
that's kind of.
I was like, that's doing it right, because like the whole show is ridiculous anyway. So I was like, all right, you guys know it. Like you guys do, it's good.
I also love contemporary books when the character's like, I open up my social media site, like when they just like go generic and like don't use a name for it, and you're like, okay,
kind of
just make one up. Is that what Simon Versus did? They just made up a fake Tumblr.
No, it's Tumblr, but like she uses Tumblr. Like
I want to say in the movie they like called it something else.
Oh, they may have. I don't remember.
Maybe get like on Tumblr or something.
Yeah. But also, like, I think you also, like, as sad as it is to say, like, some books, like, aren't still going to be around in 5 years. You know, like, I don't know, just, like, write your book the way you want to write it. Because, like, who knows if people will still be reading it then anyway. So.
That reminds me of the movies where I didn't know this until a while ago because I kept seeing the same brand of, like, potato chips pop up in the Community TV show. And then I would see them in other TV shows and be like, what is this? It'd be like Splingles or whatever. And then you find out that, like, this is a thing that Hollywood does. They made up, like, 3 or 4 fake products, and all of the different TV shows use them. And it was quite funny. Yeah.
Okay. It's like, I know they'll make stuff up for one show, but I didn't know that, like, all of film
a bunch of them use.
I just Googled this now. The chips on Community are Let's potato chips. That jumped into my head. And like have them on Orange is the New Black. They're eating them on Arrested Development, New Girl.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I'd always thought it was kind of a Community gag.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of an all TV, all sitcoms gag. Yeah, quite a few of them use it.
We had a comment that might be good to talk about from Lily, because I feel like this is a very relatable thing. Lily said, my novel took a turn it shouldn't have taken, and now I feel kind of stuck, and I don't know how to get my character out of it. I don't want to delete all of those words, but I don't know what else to do.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just have to do it. Like, it sucks, but it's better to write the book the way it needs to be written than, like, to keep going and have to trash, like, 50,000 words instead of 20,000 words, you know? And, like, don't throw it away. Like, that'll help you feel better, too, to, like, move it into another document so that you still have it. Or you can even, like, leave. I was reading someone's Twitter thread about how they're, like, an extreme pantser earlier today, and they were talking about how, like, they don't even move it to another document because that way they feel like they still have the word count and they still did the work. And then later in revisions, they take the stuff out. So they just, like, they just basically go back to, like, the point where they messed up or whatever and just, like, keep writing, but they leave the miswritten part or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's actually what I do for this book that I'm finishing up revisions on now. I deleted a 90,000 word draft and I left it all in the scrivener file. So when I look at the word count, it's like, don't worry, it's not.
I still did this. Yeah.
140,000. There's a reason you've been working on this for so long.
I think it also depends, because I noticed that you said it took a turn it shouldn't. So I think, like, I would question, is this a turn that you didn't expect because you plotted things out and it's a natural progression and it actually maybe works if you look at it? and you just have to replot things, or is it not somewhere you want to go? In which case, yeah.
That's what I'm guessing it is.
Yeah, I'm guessing that too. But like sometimes
if you're like
my
realizing that like I've gone in the wrong direction and this isn't working.
Yeah, for sure. But sometimes I go in a direction that's not expected, and then I go, oh, do I want to go there? And then sometimes I do. But yeah, if it's like this is not working, then yeah, just keep it so it feels better. But yeah, fix it now instead of writing the whole thing and then having a lot more words to scrap.
Yeah, I usually like to also like take a couple days to just think about it. Sometimes like when it goes in a direction that doesn't feel right, you're right, it's not right for the book, and you need time to figure out how you're gonna, like, how far back do you jump before you start moving in the right direction, and all of that. Or like sometimes I'll sit there and I'll take a few days and think about the plot and realize this is a good direction. I just don't want it to be a good direction because it means more work on my part.
Yeah.
And it's pretty like solidly half and half. Half the time it's a good thing and half the time it's a bad thing. And every now and then I think it's a good thing and I keep going and I get even more stuck and it's a nightmare. Writing is fun.
Encouragement.
It's a house of horrors.
Yeah, I always know when it's a bad thing because like I can't keep going. Like I'll like reach a point where I'm like I can't keep writing this because like it's not going the right direction. You know, like there's nowhere for me to go from here because this isn't right what I've done.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times it's the thing I've plotted out, the direction I thought it was supposed to go in, and I'm like,
and it doesn't work. Yeah,
I can't keep going forward. So.
Yeah, it's interesting too to like almost just as a thought exercise to be like, why doesn't this work? Is it a character motivation thing? Is it like an actual like a plot thing? Is it a pacing thing? And that tells you a lot about your story too, and where you could go or won't go with it, type of thing, and how to fix it sometimes, you know.
For sure.
We should sprint again.
Yes. That's the 20.
Sounds good. More words.
Oh, the words. I closed my window. It's freezing.
I like haven't eaten yet, and I'm super hungry. So I'm like, let's move this write-in along.
I just always am eating during write-ins.
Yeah.
Do we have a prompt for this one?
Yes, I'm calling this one Ice Crystal. Your character breaks something beautiful and or important.
Ooh.
Oh no.
It's just all of my worst stresses.
Breaking something?
Yeah.
Maybe they break something beautiful and important because they got stuck.
There you go.
And I've put that prompt and the sprint information in the discussion section. So if you forget what time we're ending or you forget the prompt, it's right there.
Man, I sat in front of a window so that I would get more light, and then the sun went down very fast.
Dare it.
I know.
Stupid sun.
So what happens when you live in the northern hemisphere?
Yeah, it's true.
Sun's been down for a long time here. It's late. It's time.
It is time. All right, we will see you all at the 40. Yes. Math. Okay. See you in 20 minutes, everybody. Good luck. time for everybody.
Gotta do some math.
I wrote 193.
861.
Ooh, wow.
Nice.
Did 104.
Nice.
I'm like 2/3 of the way through this chapter.
Good.
I finally finished the same one.
Yay.
I have trouble with chapter endings. I'm like, I need to end on the perfect sentence, and they all suck.
I just have so many words that don't need to be there. But also I have a low word count. So every time I cut words that I know don't need to be there, it like hurts. Because I know the number's just going down and it's just that much more I'm gonna have to add later.
I usually have the exact opposite problem where I'm like desperately coming through, like, I need to cut like 30,000 words. Would you like my words?
I would love that. Thank you.
Wouldn't that be nice if you could do that? Send you my words.
It's been long enough that I've like forgotten a lot of secondary characters' names.
Oh no.
But then I'm also remembering that like there's a whole bunch of secondary characters that I just haven't given names to. I'm like, okay. I was like, what's this person's name? And I was like, oh, I don't think I've actually named them.
Oh no.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be like, guy with the red hair, and then I'm like, I guess that's your name now. Sorry.
There's just so many characters in this book. And I'm like, I don't want to come up with names for all of them.
That's what baby name books are for.
I know, right?
Exactly. Oh, okay. I don't know if I don't think I told you guys this, but so like I work at a bookstore for people that don't know, and often when people give me any kind of loyalty card, their name will come up on the screen. And I don't know what it is, but lately people have just had the coolest names. So I've been like creepily writing them all down on a sticky note, like beside my cash tags, because I'm like, your name is so cool. And I wrote them down, trying to see if I can find them. But I had one person, like the person that started this whole thing. Here we go. Their name was Medara.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's Medara, and I'm like, that is the coolest name ever. How? They were just like a totally normal looking person, like jean jacket, glasses, like I don't know, no, like not a fantasy character of anything, but I was like, that is an awesome name.
Yeah.
And then someone else, I just found out one of my friend's brothers is named Tyrus.
Oh, cool.
Which is also funny because his name's Caleb, so it's like a totally normal name, and then like a really intense name, and I'm like, wow, okay. And then someone else was, oh yeah, Idanis.
Oh, that's cool. I like that one.
Idanis. And someone else I have that I forgot about was Mikai, which is like Mikhai. And I'm just like, these, I don't know what it is, but like these people like, have the coolest names. So like every time I'm like, okay, thank you, you know, like have a good day kind of thing. And then like I like scribble something down. I don't know if they're thinking like I'm like one more customer check or like what I'm doing, but I'm just like, your name's really cool before I forget it. Like I write it down.
Whenever your book comes out, the acknowledgments will be like, thank you, Medara, for coming into my bookstore that one time.
Yeah,
that's your name.
Maybe I will.
If they read your books, your customers are going to be like, wait a minute. Oh, man.
I didn't copy
you
down
should be like
name. Like no one's getting sued or anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You should be like, excuse me, did you know that you should be a fantasy character?
Yeah. I think I said that to somebody before where I don't remember who it was, but I remember being like, oh my gosh, is your name this? Like that is like, is that your real name? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, I have never heard anybody outside of a fantasy novel with that name. But like I read a book where the character was that name and that was really cool. And they're like, oh really? Like, that's cool. Thanks. Or like
sometimes at the library, I get patrons whose names, like, they just, like, the, like, sound of them, they just, like, sound like it would be, like, an actress's name or, like, a writer's name, like, a famous person's name. And I'm always like, your name really sounds like you should be, like, some literary author or something. And I'm like, thanks. I'll look into that. Or like we had a guy one time that had like this like very like I can't remember his name was, but it was like a very like pompous like 3 names, and he was like the third or something, and I was like,
Oh
Richard
yeah,
Campbell Gansey the third. Like, it was something like that. Or it was like Jonathan Richard Grant or something. I don't remember the third.
Wow.
You have to say it with an accent though. The
Yeah.
third.
Yeah, exactly. Wild.
We had a question. I want to say it was from Sid. I can't find the question, but the question was any thriller or horror recommendations.
The Call by Peter O'Gillen.
Heck yes.
It was so good.
It's funny because I was literally about to say that because I just bought Hey
Oh, The
Camera,
Invasion?
sort your crap out. There we go. I have not read it yet. But
Oh, okay. I wanted to. That's a sequel for anybody watching.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's like creepy horror fairies, but like in a hell dimension. It's super weird.
It's so
And
weird.
it's short.
It's so good. Yeah, it's a quick read.
Oh, I also just finished Saw Kill Girls by Claire Legrand.
Yes.
Which Aaron recommended me. And, like, we will praise that book to high heaven because it was so creepy and
So good.
weird.
And that's
Really
a horror
good.
one.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And it's
so
our
good.
book club book for next month. So
Yeah.
That's
right. Make sure to tune in last Sunday of the month.
Also, The Devouring Grey, when that comes out, that's a really good horror one as well. I read the art copy.
I know, when I saw it, I was so jealous.
Too bad you don't live here because I could lend it to you.
I live sort of close by.
Take a ferry and I'll lend you my copy. So good.
There's also like older school horror. Shirley Jackson, I've been reading a lot of lately. Kind of like one of the classic YA horror voices is Amy Lukovics. She writes
really good,
horrifyingly creepy things.
There's like historical horror. Like it's really good.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at my shelves and see what else would be considered.
Yeah, right. I don't really read a lot of horror, so I'm like,
Stephanie Kuhn is good for like really like messing with your head. Mess with you.
I do like head messing books.
Yes.
I feel like I've read a lot of kind of horrifying ones, but maybe I'm just thinking about the Saw Kill Girls and the Devouring Grey because I read those back to back. So it was very like horror time. Yeah.
I don't read a ton of pure thrillers though.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, not my thing.
Horror,
which is why Saw Kill Girls was so good.
Oh, so good.
It was.
I would say Saw Kill Girls was more horror than thriller, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm not. Well, if we want to do the sprint at the 50 or the 55, because we have 1 minute left.
Let's do the 50.
All right.
Let's do it.
Well, okay. Where is it here? I saved my best writing prompt for last. So, my last one is Winter King. Write an interaction with a foreboding character.
Ooh. Foreboding.
Yes.
My favorite type of boating.
This last one will be 20 minutes as well.
All right, so that's till 10 after the hour. Just like I want to get this assignment done. Get this one part of the assignment done. And I will feel accomplished. All right, it is the 50. See everybody back in 20 minutes. Good luck.
Good.
All right, in time for everybody.
Woo. I don't know about word count, but I finished my chapter, even though I almost didn't, because I only had a few hundred words to go. So I got a little bit cocky and let myself watch YouTube videos. Like, oh, I've got plenty of time. So I cut it really close.
It's where they always get you.
I finished one more chapter.
Yay.
Ugh, the chapters I didn't even bother this time because the chapter I have to do is like so intensive. I have to change so much stuff. I'm too distracted right now.
These went really fast.
Yeah, they did.
Like they always go extra fast when a lot to do.
It's true.
Let's see, are there any other questions to answer before the end of the night?
Let me see.
Everyone's wilting.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any. I apologize if I missed them. If you asked a question and I missed it, please ask it very quickly.
Yeah, I think we're all fading fast.
Yeah.
I have to do more homework after this too, and I'm like, oh, why?
Why do bad things happen to good people?
Because good people slept in this morning and didn't have enough time to do it before afternoon plans happened.
The horror.
I know.
Well.
Well.
I think we're good.
All right.
Well.
Oh, we have a quick question. What's your favorite food?
My dinner in like 5 minutes.
Seriously.
Tacos.
Oh, yeah.
Cheesecake, even though I can't eat it because I'm lactose intolerant, but the memories are so good.
Like a sucker for punishment.
I found a brand that does vegan cheesecake, and they're pretty good.
Is it like the Daya?
Yeah, the Daya brand.
Yeah, I haven't tried them, but I've seen them.
They're really good, actually. Yeah. So I have one of those in my freezer, and I'm like kind of debating going down and getting some.
Time for dinner.
Exactly. The whole cheesecake.
It's a vegan cheesecake, so it's like healthy.
Right? Okay, so the dinner that I want.
It's basically health food.
Exactly.
It's vegan, so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's how this works.
Yep. All right.
Final reminder. Kelly has books coming out every Monday this month. Kelly Sheridan and Kelly Bean. Another one coming out tomorrow. Which one's tomorrow?
Abdication.
Ooh.
The Hallmark movie book of your dreams by Kelly Bean.
That rhymes.
All right, everybody make sure to go check that out. And thank you to everyone in our audience for watching tonight. I hope you were as productive as we were, or possibly more. Hopefully you were more productive than me. We are going to have our regular daily videos all this week, and our live chat next week is for our book club. And it's Prisoner of Azkaban. Yes? Right. Okay. Every January we do a Harry Potter book. So Prisoner of Azkaban is going to be on Sunday if you want to come and chat and give your perspective on it. I'm sure it's going to be a fun one. That was my personal favorite book. So yes, it will be a good chat. So yeah, make sure to watch out for us every day this week and next week. And I hope you guys all have a good upcoming last full week of January already.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.